Business Live today is brought to you by GCB Bank.
Now to our first story. The World Bank insists the recent financial support for Ghana is critical to enable the country quickly exit its debt crisis and drift towards economic recovery. The bank recently signed a $700 million security guarantee with government in respect of the sale of gas produced by the Sankofa Jinyame gas project. Some analysts have since raised concerns the bank's decision would rather plunge Ghana into further debt, considering the country's debt-to-GDP ratio, which crossed the 70% mark in September this year. But speaking with Joy Business, Country Director for Ghana, Liberia and Sierra Leone, Henry Kerari, said this is actually the best time to step in with such support. He expects Ghana to urgently reform its economy.
When an economy is struggling, this is the time that the World Bank group as a whole comes in as a partner, because countries like Ghana will find it much more difficult to access funds from capital markets. In other words, it will be much more expensive for Ghana to go to capital markets. The World Bank Group has a fixed standard rate regardless of the shape of your economy. So it is in times of difficulties when the World Bank Group is really needed by countries like Ghana.
There's no free lunch. What are you expecting in return?
In return, we expect reforms. We expect Ghana to implement reforms to improve efficiencies, first of all, in the various sectors. Let's take energy. We expect much more efficient production of electricity. We expect much more efficient distribution of electricity. We know, for example, that right now the distribution company, ECG, has losses of about 30%, technical losses and commercial losses. So we will work with ECG, we'll work with the government to try and reduce those losses and make sure that much of the energy that is produced actually ends up in powering our homes and industries.
Now, latest data covering government's expenditure and revenue up to July this year indicate it has been able to keep its spending slightly under parliamentary approved levels. But what could be the implications of this on the economy? George Rafe tells us more.
Government was, for instance, hoping to spend about 24 billion Ghana cedis as at July this year. However, the data shows that it actually spent 23 billion Ghana cedis. The slight reduction in expenditure was mainly due to savings made with the payment of compensation for public sector workers. The data revealed that government is still struggling with budget overruns as it spent 4.7 billion Ghana cedis more than revenue mobilized. Interest payment was still a challenge for government as it came up as one of the biggest spending items. On the revenue side, government was still having a challenge in meeting projected target as it was able to mobilize 18 billion Ghana cedis as against 21 billion Ghana cedis. This was mainly due to challenges with domestic revenue, as the data shows it was struggling in meeting this target. For some analysts, if this trend should continue, then government will end the year without recording any serious overrun, especially in an election season, a development that could mean a lot for the economy going forward.
Meanwhile, economist at the University of Ghana, Professor Quartey, is concerned about the figure allocated to compensations in the 2017 first quarter estimates. In an interview this morning with hostess of News Desk, Beatrice Edu, Professor Quartey said the situation would affect government's ability to contain excessive expenditure.
Then, if you look at it, it's something that is not just popping up. That has been the trend. We spend so much money paying for salaries and wages, compensation, etc. So it is not new. This is where we find ourselves, especially after the single spine wage salary structure was implemented. We find that over 50 to 60% of our total revenue goes into wages and compensation. But also, it is quite worrying that we are spending so much money paying for servicing our loans, and if we are not careful, if we do not invest this money into productive ventures in the next 10 to 15 years, we would really have ourselves to blame.
Professor Kote, this is not the first time we are getting here. Why do we always have to get here paying interest on loans and salaries? Is it a matter of poor planning or mismanagement?
Well, I think some of the borrowing that we have undertaken, we have not been very prudent in terms of investing them into very productive activities that would generate costs for us to be able to repay some of these loans. So gradually we continue to accumulate more debt. We borrow to pay off old loans and continue to borrow. But actually what you should be doing is to borrow to invest so that you can repay. But if we borrow to repay old or existing debt all the time, and we are not generating enough revenue to pay some of these loans or debt, then we find ourselves in this situation.
Away from that, Accra City Hotel has been adjudged the best hotel in the Greater Accra region. This was at this year's edition of the Regional Tourism Awards held last night under the theme Advancing the Gains of Tourism Through Quality Service Delivery. The event, organized by the Ghana Tourism Authority, was aimed at giving recognition to tourism industry players that excelled in service delivery for the year 2015. Here's Ebenezer Sabuti's report.
Celebrating a milestone of 28 years of great achievement in the hotel industry in Ghana, 1988 to 2016. And this goes to Accra City Hotel, formerly the hotel.
And that was how Accra City Hotel was declared the best hotel in the Greater Accra region. It is a 4-star hotel. Holiday Inn also emerged the best 3-star hotel, and Airport View Hotel the best 2-star hotel. According to the sales manager of Airport View Hotel, Janet Otu, the award should spur them on to greater heights.
It's actually a great opportunity for us. It's a big challenge thrown to us to also pursue and make sure that our clients are happy to achieve the next step, which is the 3-star hotel. So once we get to the 3-star hotel, we hope to also win awards in the 3-star category.
What are you doing to achieve this aim?
We are making sure our clients are happy. We are giving them the best of services. We are going beyond their expectation, and we give them value for money. Aside
from hotels, players in other subsectors of the industry were recognized. Papaya emerged best catering facility, whilst KFC won Visibility Brand of the Year. Eurostar was also adjudged best car rental company, and Sunseeker Store the tour operator of the year. Paris Hotel, located at Hacho, received the best hotel facility in the region. Perry Jones Arthur, managing director of the facility, spoke with Joy Business about Ghana's tourism industry and what the award means to his outfit.
It's a lot because we've put in a lot of hard work. The tourism industry in Ghana, they are really grown for the past, I'd say 5 years. They are doing a wonderful job. This award also will motivate some of us to push harder and work harder for Ghana to grow.
The Director of Crop Research at the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, Dr. Stella Ama-Enin, says Ghana has the potential to become Africa's leader in tomato production if greenhouse farming is expanded. She called for a halt in the importation of various foreign tomato brands and other tomato products as well into the country. Dr. Stella Enin was speaking at a practical training on tomato cultivation in greenhouse and open fields for farmers and other interest groups held in Kumasi. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Kwesi Debra reports.
Greenhouse farming involves protection of plants against climate, pests and nutrient deficiency in restricted space. China accounts for 31% of the world's tomato production, with annual levels of over 50 tons. Ghana is so far the largest importer of tomato paste, second only to Germany. According to Dr. Enin, Ghana can overturn the scales if farmers get the needed support.
Ghana is spending over $100 million importing tomatoes, either in the fresh form or tomato paste. But we have varieties here that we can use for our normal dishes and also for processing into tomato paste. So ultimately, we expect that we will be able to cut down on the amount of money we spend on imports. In fact, I am hopeful that with the support, if the farmers are able to get some support to put up these structures and to go into the production, Ghana should be able to produce more than what we need, process and even export.
Government of India is collaborating with Ghana for a pilot research project on tomato production in Ghana. The project, which will cost $1 million, will engage stakeholders in large and profitable cultivation. Project coordinator Akhilesh Tiwari is upbeat farmers will recoup their investment in less than 4 years.
Investment is high, but you can see we can get 10 times more production in comparison of open field. So in 2-3 years, farmer can get good money and make good money in 2-3 years. Initially investment is high, but production is also very high in comparison of.
Though participants are happy about the project, they have funding concerns.
This initiative will help farmers a lot.
This is good news. It seems to be free from sickness. Government should support farmers financially.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Debra.
Back in Accra, organizers of Transcend 2016 conference will be looking at helping young entrepreneurs craft solutions to contemporary entrepreneurial problems by exploiting available resources. The conference, dubbed Defying Gravity, is to spur young entrepreneurs to dream big, believe in the possibility of their entrepreneurial dreams. Thompson Ikechukwu is principal partner of Portsu, organizers of the event.
Our goal is to provide the necessary incentive and opportunities for young people to harness their energy, creativity, and limited entrepreneurship skills. Now, the theme for this event is Defying Entrepreneurial Gravity. Now, gravity in this context, in the context of entrepreneurship, refers to those automatic mind patterns that are inhibitive of delving into entrepreneurship. Now, you find that we are raised in a society whereby we're so intolerant to taking risks, to failing. A child does something wrong, he or she's been chided or scolded, and the next time when he or she wants to exercise his initiative in taking a particular decision, those trainings and convictions begins to kick in, and then he gets this withdrawal syndrome. So in essence, what we're trying to do with this project is to help point our young people to the right direction and start exposing them to various entrepreneurial icons that will help them fan the flame of wanting to create something new, of being innovative within them.
Selected speakers for the occasion include Letitia Brown, investor relations expert with Ghana Angel Investors Network, Israela Kafui Mansu, founder and CEO of Mansuki Ghana Limited, and Kweku Sintim Misa, CEO of Safa Ghana Limited. It takes place tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. at the British Council Hall. Moving on, women who need guidance in their various careers can now look forward to a great opportunity to do so. Non-profit civil society and career guidance organization Springboard is focusing on giving women the needed coaching assistance to enable them to become successful entrepreneurs. This was revealed at the launch of the 2017 Springboard Road Show. Albert Okran is executive director of the Springboard Road Show.
For some time now, we realized that we have a 70-30 matrix. 71% men, 29% women attending our events, and we've for some years now deliberately increased female participation in our quest to achieve 50-50 equity between men and women. And so beyond encouraging women, we want to actually create special interventions for women to enable them benefit from what you do at Springboard. As long as half of our population are women, we should be able to dream about creating interventions that enable them to realize their dreams. Some of the best role models and mentors I've had in my life, I was raised by a single mother. My father died early in life, and I know the power of a woman with a dream and a vision. And so I'm passionate about investing in women who have their own dreams and their own aspirations to go ahead and achieve them and to help build the kind of country that we all are looking forward to. I think that Springboard 2017 will set in motion a massive change that will become the biggest human capital intervention in this nation.
You're still watching Business Live. Let's take a short break here. When we come back, we'll go to the stock market for some updates on the performance of the various equities, the currencies, as well as the international commodities. Don't go away yet. Thank you very much for staying on. It's now time to hook up with our research analyst, Bertha Atubiga, who is going to tell us how the stock market closed today and which stocks and which equities performed well and so on. Welcome to Business Live, Bertha.
Hello, Emmanuel.
Now, Bertha, which are the commodities that really did well this week?
I can hardly hear you very well.
The equities. Which equities performed considerably well this week?
Okay. Thank you very much. If I heard you very well, you're talking about the equities that performed today on the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Today's activity was not that impressive. So we had some equities moving on their previous share prices. We had only 5 equities trading today on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and that is not impressive comparing with the previous day's trade where we had over 200,000 shares trading. Today we had only 29,600 shares trading and at a sales value of 37,470 Ghana cedis, and the highest trade was actually recorded in UT Bank, trading 14,000 shares at 560 Ghana cedis. And the share price of UT Bank actually dropped by a peso to close at 4 pesos per share. We also saw EGA, that's EcoBank Ghana, trading only 700 shares, but we saw the equity of EcoBank going up by peso as well to close at 63 pesos. Previously, EcoBank was trading at 82 pesos. We had 4 trades going on in EcoBank. EGI was also the other trader on the market, trading 1,100 shares at 143 Ghana cedis, and the share price is still at 13 pesos per share, a relatively cheaper price on the market standard now. And we also saw FML and SIC trading 3,100 shares and 10,700 shares each today. And the highest value was recorded in FML, that's 30,380 Ghana cedis. FML is still trading at 9 cedis 80 pesos, and SIC is still trading at 15 pesos per share. So these are the only equities that traded today on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and these are the volumes that were traded as well on the market.
Now, Bertha, what reasons could be assigned to this rather poor performance this week?
Hello?
Hello, Bertha?
Yes, Emmanuel,
Yes.
I can, if you can speak up a bit.
Yes, Bertha, I wanted to know what are some of the reasons that could be assigned for the poor performance of the market this week?
Okay, there are several reasons. There are several reasons that could account for such performance. And we all know that the Ghana Stock Exchange in particular, this particular period or this moment is a very stage for the market where most equities are returning negative year-to-day returns, and most equities have lost a lot of gains or a lot of success on their previous share quote or their year open prices. And one other factor too is the normal demand and supply on the market. Investor confidence in the market has actually gone down, which shouldn't be the case. Because when prices are going down, that is the best time for them to come on board. But when some investors, with their sentiments, when they see that the market is not doing very well, that is when they tend to shift away from it. And one other factor that we can also consider is the fact that we are recording very high interest rates in Ghana. You know, we have the money market and then the equity market. Now, when the equity market is not doing very well, a normal investor who is risk averse would definitely go in for the money market, especially where or in a situation whereby our interest rates are very high, where money market bills are quoting 25, 28% per annum, and then the stock market is returning averagely in the negative regions, that's about negative 11%. So it's also driving the money market, because interest rates are high, it is actually pulling investors towards that end. And then the equity market is being neglected. But I'll continue to say that it is the best time for people to take advantage of the market. And one other factor too is the third quarter results that have been expected by investors. You know, one thing that also drives investors' confidence or moves them is the performance of the company. Because if they are updated on what is going on the company, whether they are making profits or losses, then it will also tell them or kind of put some confidence in them that at least at the end of the year, they should be expecting some dividends from this company, or bonus shares from them. So it also influences that this particular year has not been very favorable for most of the listed equities.
Okay.
And that has also been a challenge.
All right.
And we are expecting that the third quarter results at least will come out, and we hope some figures will be positive, looking at the fact that our energy sector has been a bit stable, and then the cedi has also been a bit stable, losing about 3% year to date, two major trading currencies.
All right. Bertha, thank you very much for that update.
Okay, you're welcome, Emmanuel.
Bertha Atubiga is our research analyst briefing us on the performance of the stock markets this week, which stocks did well, which stocks performed poorly. And that's on this program, Business Live. Now, let's take a break. When we come back, interview of the day.